The following is a presentation of Studio Audrain, powered by the Mexico Ledger.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of Community Matters, a Studio Audrain production powered by the Mexico Ledger. I'm your host, Sky Strauss, and I'm here with my good friend from the county, Miss Amy LeCount, our Collector of Revenue.
Hi, Sky. Thanks for having me come today.
Well, we have a very exciting topic that we're coming back to.
I know. It is almost time for the senior tax credit to start off again April 1st and ends June 30th. So it is right around the corner. And hopefully spring with it. I'm hoping it comes too, you know.
Well, we've got some beautiful weather today, and again, a great topic, because I think the last time you were in here, we were talking about the same thing.
It is something I'm always talking about, to be honest. We always get questions about it during application time, also when season comes out. It is a year-round topic, I will be honest.
So let's start by talking a little bit about how the senior tax credit works and what a tax credit is.
Can do. So I'm going to first start off with the qualifications. It's anybody 62 and older who own their home, live in their home, and it is the primary residence. Simple qualifications, nothing too hard. So all you need to do is get an application. You can do so at my office starting April 1st. We are going to have some at the local libraries here in town and throughout the county, and also on our website. Which is audraincounty.org. Under the Collector Revenue tab, you'll see senior tax credit. You just have to fill out the application. It really does not take more than maybe 5 minutes. I do require 3 additional documentations with it just to prove that you are you, basically. I just need a copy of the deed, which if you don't know where it is, don't want to go look for it, the Collector of Revenue, Teresa Allen, is graciously printing them out for our customers and having them bring them to me. Also need proof of age, so anything with a birth date on it to prove that we are 62 and older. I mean, I can go by people's faces, but I suck at picking ages, so we do it by, facts. And then I just need proof of residency, so piece of mail, utility bill, driver's license, address, anything that states that we do live in that home. And so what happens is once all documentation's turned in, we go through it, we see if you're approved or denied, make sure everything is good and paid and on our end, and then we do send out a approval letter or a denial letter, and then we will wait basically until tax season. Once Missy Maupin, our assessor, sends me all that information in October, and I start working on our wonderful tax bills that we all know and love, that's where the credit does come in, and it is on these. So basically it locks you in on your base year, or as the statute reads, the initial credit year. So whoever is applying in 26 this year is going to have the base year of 26. So whatever that amount that you're paying on the residential value of the property, so it's only the house and maybe up to 5 acres or whatever the assessors have listed as that, that's the amount I'm going off of, dollar amount. So say we get through, so this year you won't see a credit for those applying for 26. You'll reapply for 27 at this moment. That is still the plan. And then whatever the difference is between 26 and 27. So say 26 is $500. 27 is $510, just for simple math. The credit is $10. Now, we explain to everybody that yes, you will still have a tax bill. This does not make it go away. You don't expect to have a large credit. Like we have some that said, think, oh, we're not going to have a bill. Oh, we're going to save hundreds of dollars. My credit this year being our first year, which we are still very much learning the process, ranged from 71 cents to about $30. So I don't know what everybody's credit's going to be right then and there when we apply. We'll have to wait to see what our numbers are. And once, the assessed values get put in, the tax levies, if any taxing district is going up on a levy, we have to wait for those. So we won't know until we actually physically produce those bills of what everybody's going to get. But I just don't want everybody to think, oh, we're going to save a bunch of money. You might get something. You might get not a lot, but it is at least a credit. And that's kind of how it works. In the long scheme of things, there's more math involved. I had to do algebra to double check stuff, so that was like a blast from the past of school. But
so for people who applied and set their base year last year. That's their base year for this year. Now, let's say somebody only got a couple cents last year and they think, well, it's not worth applying this year.
That is totally optional if they want to continue or not. It is not a mandatory thing. It is all optional. So I had some that were, a little upset with their credit. I think it was maybe about $2, maybe $3, and they said this wasn't worth, the time. And I understand. I very much get it. But it's always an optional thing. I always say I had some that were very hesitant, thinking, we're losing money to our entities. And I said, it's an optional project. You can always try it for a year, see what happens, or try it for a couple of years, and you're like, this is just not worth my time or energy. You don't have to reapply. It's not anything on us. I was like, we are just trying to provide this opportunity to follow the state law of what was brought to us, truthfully.
But if they were to decide to not reapply this year and then want to come back next year, that changes their base rate.
That does change their base year. They would have to reapply completely with with the same beginning application, with the same criteria of everything. I was like, so it is, still, once again, doesn't take long to fill out, but you would have to start all over and reset that base year.
Okay. Well, I think now we just need to tell people they can come into your office.
They can come into my office. They can, I believe I was talking to the library staff at one of the meetings, and they said they would be happy to have some applications in their branches for us. So we're going to get those prepped and ready, or you can find it online. I'm trying to get it out as best we can so everyone who wants to apply or reapply can. I was like, the renewal applications are going out, I believe, Friday from my office. They're being mailed, so we're trying to make that easier. And then anybody else who wants an application can always come visit. And as long as we got everything turned in by June 30th, we're pretty good.
Okay, so let's get through this summer. Let's see what happens this year. And if you have any questions, where can people go for their frequently asked questions?
We have a frequently asked questions start on the website. You can always call. You can always come visit. I was like, we try to answer them the best way we can with all the questions that we get. I was like, most of the time, if you ask any elected official, they will direct you directly to my office to come visit me about this.
Well, great. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of Community Matters, a Studio Audrain production powered by the Mexico Ledger.